Hey everyone, it's Diego Viteri. Welcome to a new video of Viteri Boxing. Today I want to show you the correct way to attack your opponent. What are the steps you need to take into consideration before you throw any attack or any punch so you don't get hit. So that's the whole point of human chess, so let's begin. The name of the game is to hit and don't get hit. There's no science if you just go in a straight line and exchange punches. It's not about how much you can get hit and stay in the position and throwing punches and see who gets a better punch. That will be completely nuts to do. So, in order to hit your opponent and don't get hit, I want you to remember our human chess formula. This formula will help you to attack and also don't get hit, which is the name of the game. So first is distraction. The first thing you need to understand the formula is distraction. Then you need to position yourself. That's why I call it a chess game, because you need to be always a step ahead of your opponent in a good position where you can hit and he can't hit you. Then, of course, having the position, you need to attack your opponent, and after attacking, you need to defend. So let's look first into the first one, distraction. The first two elements are distraction and positioning. And for this, I have to work both of them together because they're interconnected. They work as one single unit. So, the first thing is you want to distract your opponent before positioning yourself, because if you just position yourself, it's easy for him to just turn, flip, and keep punching me. It's easy to follow. The whole thing is to be one step ahead, so I want to distract him before I move. And what I'm going to show you today is the zigzag step. The zigzag step is really useful. It's basically stepping with your jab, with your front foot. You move forward. You stay. This leg stays airborne. This leg stays airborne, and I'm going to move to the side, to one of the sides, and I can punch my opponent. I go in and out to another side, and I can punch my opponent. The whole thing is to blind my opponent with the jab. I'll blind my opponent with the jab, and I move. As soon as the jab, I pick my jab back to the position. There's no one in front of the opponent. I jab my opponent and I move to the side. And from this position, of course, I have the advantage, and I can just attack my opponent in any way possible. The third element is attacking your opponent. But whenever you're going to attack, make sure when you use a combination to work with setup punches and finisher punches. Don't try to throw all your punches with power, because you're going to be wasting energy. And plus, they're going to take longer, because power punches take a lot more of hip movement, which means they're going to make the other punches lower in the combination. If I want to throw 3 punches and I do it all with them with power, I will turn my hip, which takes my right hand backwards. It will be lengthening the time of attack. I will be turning here, then turning here, and then turning here, which is going to take longer. And the whole point is to look for a one shot or one punch to connect. Even with one punch is all you need. So you don't have to be punching to his arm with all power. 2, 3 punches, 2 setup punches, and one finishers. And make sure to always think with logic when you are throwing combinations. You have to be combining between round punches, circle punches around your opponent's guard, and with linear punches between your opponent's guard. So you'll be throwing a hook, a right, and maybe a hook to the body. You go right, boom, one straight punch. So always make sure to work with setup punches and let the final punch to be the power punch. And of course, remember to work between circular punches and linear punches. The last part of the formula is, of course, to make some defense after you attack. So you finish with your combination with the setup and finisher punches. Then you have to move out of the way to position yourself in a safe position. So you're going to be punching, you move out of the way. That's the best way. The best way is to always take yourself out of the position to make yourself in a safer position. You don't want to just do it with a little head movement, finishing with a little head movement. And because if your legs are still here, it doesn't matter how much you use your head movement, you're still here. It's easy to punch you. So whenever I mean defend, I mean move out of the position, move out of the way. So you position yourself, so you distract and position yourself. I got the positions, I attack, I move again out of the position. That way it's really hard for my opponent to follow me, and it's easy for me to hit and don't get hit, so always remember that. Thanks everyone for watching my video. Remember always this formula before any of your attacks, and remember that the formula is just a way so you can think of it before any exchange or before any attack, but it means that you have to be really creative. Doesn't mean that you're always going to use your jab to blind your opponent to position yourself. You can also use other things. You can use feints make your opponent react and then move to other positions. You can use frames. Just keep your arm in your opponent, then move out of the way and hit your opponent. The combinations are all about creativity, but you have to always remember that setup punches and those finisher punches, and to leave all that power to the finisher. And of course, don't forget to have some logic and to make with round punches around your opponent's guard and some straight punches. Don't just go with round punches because you make for your opponent easy. And of course, move out of the way at the end. So practice, practice, practice is the way of mastering modern boxing, human chess. So work with the heavy bag, work with mitts, do some drills with your partner, and remember to always have fun and never try to hit as hard as you can to the other opponent. You have to take care of him and take care of yourself. So I'll see you next week.